I sauna continuously. I stay in this room right now, 145 degrees. You can't tell.
145 degrees.
Yeah.
I'm cooking slowly, low and slow.
Yeah.
How hot is this sauna?
I don't know.
I don't know. How hot
I
is
would
a
guess
hot tub?
120, 125. Hot tub is like 104 tops.
No, you can get higher than that.
Not on the hot tubs that I've owned. It locks it at like 104, maybe 105, but definitely not 106.
Yeah, I've definitely been 110 in hot tubs.
Whew. I get into 105 and I'm like, oh fuck.
I have no idea. I just thought it was hotter. I thought it was like 120 or something. Like, I don't know. I've never.
When would you start to cook? Like 180?
It depends if you stayed in there long enough. I don't think it'd have to be 180. Like I think my slow cooker, like when I put it on low and slow and like cook a pot roast for 8 hours, I can still stick my finger in there for a second. You know, it's just, and it reminds me of a hot tub a little bit. I don't know.
I feel like
So
in
you
a
just
hot
sit
tub,
there, you fall asleep, and you're just sloughing off into a stew.
Ooh, that'd be so gross.
Yeah,
I've
that
had
would
so
be
many
gross.
hot tub incidents. I got in that thing with I just had gotten a brand new, like nice, I use Androids because I prefer them, but I had gotten a nice Android. I don't remember which one, don't ask me. Maybe the S8 Edge when it first came out, something like that. Expensive-ish, like more than 500, less than $1,000. And I hopped into the hot tub. And like when I would get in the hot tub, I had a whole process, right? Like I want my accessories. I'd have a laptop set up so I could watch some
Need your
Netflix.
tools. Yeah, for sure.
I'd have like not just a glass of whatever I was drinking, but like I'd bring a pitcher so I wouldn't have to get back out. Like not necessarily beer or anything, but like whatever, like Diet
a ton of
Pepsis.
water, something.
Yeah, water. I wanted to stay hydrated. I'm in here for the long haul. I got my phone. I got some weed. I got my lighter. I got a towel or 2 towels. I'm keeping my hands dry so I can keep operating the weed. I get in and I'm getting my accessories set up. We had a really nice hot tub. It's like a 6 or 8 person. I don't remember. Getting situated, got my fucking tunes on, got Netflix propped up, and I'm like, all right, now let me get my phone out so I know if anybody wants to. Oh God, no! It's in my pocket. It's in my pocket, and I've been sitting in the hot tub for at least a good minute or two, and I just pull it. It's completely ruined. Completely ruined.
I've done that. Yeah,
very upsetting.
Similar thing. I was I was in the gym working out, home gym working out, and then I like to go straight from there to the pool. There's this like, I'm just beat, exhausted. I do legs at the end, and I can hardly move, and I just kind of tip over into the pool, and the splash is rejuvenating. And for whatever reason, that day I was like you can sort of like stir the bottom with your hands and make it cloudy and make it pool cleaner, make the filter catch what would otherwise settle. I did that for like 10 minutes and realized I had my phone the whole time. Yeah, it's not even a close call. This fucker's done.
Yeah, I didn't bother doing any of the standard like, oh, let's take the battery out, throw it in a bucket of rice. It's like, all right, well, let me just throw this in the trash can. All right, it's in there. And tomorrow we're going to the phone store.
If you go to the Apple store, they're like, oh, we see by this like color-coded something, this has been exposed to water, hasn't it? I'm like, maybe a little. Yeah,
it was a little humid, I guess.
It's not covered by Apple Care. So
they should waterproof phones. Like that's the next technological step. I bet there are phones that are water resistant. I should be able to go scuba diving with that motherfucker.
Scuba diving's a lot, but
give me 10 meters.
There's a code, I forget what it is, like IPC7 or something. And Samsung used to advertise their phones.
Do not ask about scuba diving.
In a fish tank. They put it and you'd see the bubbles come up and the fish swimming around it. It was that level of waterproof. And now the new iPhones meet that same level. So if you jump in and realize you have it, you're probably okay. That's I don't know what just happened. Did you just play music, Taylor?
No.
Oh,
I didn't hear a thing.
Something in my browser then. I don't know. Maybe something auto-played. Anyway, something now if you just notice it quickly after you jump in, you're okay. Otherwise you're not. Was it you, Kyle? I saw that look.
I didn't touch a thing. I like my hands are up. You can't hear anything anyway because I use both cups.
I didn't hear anything. Like no sound came out of mine. I was looking at a tweet that came from
it sounded
CNN.
Like it was native. I think I did it. I'm sorry to tell you a story.
Oh no, it's not even a story. It was just CNN. I saw a tweet and I was scrolling to look at it. It was like, A 104-year-old man survives coronavirus. Interview here. And you just see a guy who's just wasting away in a mask sitting there. And you know
I was hoping it would take me.
Why not me, God?
His nose at me again.
Why not me?
God forgot about me.
My wife died in 1979 of old age.
I don't know why.
Do you know what it's like to live 40 years alone? It's pretty tits the first 30, but Christ, it's gotten horrible.
I like living alone.
Since for the
you like
beach was
living alone?
popular.
I've never understood those people who get lonely or homesick. And don't get me wrong, I've got a strong connection to a lot of my family. Yeah, like I really like hanging out with them and being with other people and hanging out in person with people and going on all sorts of little activities and adventures. I like doing stuff. I do. I would consider myself not an introvert necessarily or an extrovert.
You're like an extrovert by choice, right? You enjoy both the extremes, maybe.
Yeah, I really do. I really do enjoy both of the extremes. But like I've never experienced loneliness while living alone for extended periods of time, like months. And I've like there was a time like during there was a time when they were trying to like drag Kitty into my legal stuff, all because she made soaps in the basement. And they were trying to act like she was some sort of goddamn distribution network. And to an extent, that's how they got me to agree to the plea deal that I agreed to. Is like I didn't want them dragging her into any of my stuff because it was bullshit. It's like I'm a guy who smokes a little weed. I'm not a fucking like drug dealer. I've never sold weed. I've never shipped it or trafficked it or any of that fucking nonsense. Mm-hmm. So like, shit, I lost my train of thought. Help me back.
Kitty being alone, loneliness, extrovert extremes, introvert.
Oh, so like to distance myself from her, so that she would be less apt to get drug into my nonsense. I knew that I couldn't live with her after she moved to Atlanta. So I moved out of that place. And you probably noticed on PKA, I was like hopping around. Like I'd be at one place for like 2 weeks and then I'd be in another place. And you were like, where are you at now, Kyle? And I was just like, I'm
I'm in a different room of the same house.
I'm adventuring. Pay no attention to the fact that all the decorations are completely different and clearly from a different era. But I spent probably 3 months there, maybe 4 months, like just hopping from Airbnb to Airbnb, doing like long-term rentals. It was awesome. It was awesome. It was so much fun. Like I would get full houses or full apartments wherever I went, and I would have like this 3-bedroom house, 4-bedroom house. Sometimes it was an older house that was like, it was kind of cool to see the way that like a nice pimped out house was in 95. It's like, oh, look, the thermostat's here. Oh, look, there's a hi-fi controller on the wall over here. like all sorts of silly shit like that. Like the sunken living rooms that you would see like,
that
like
70s show. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. 70s even.
Let's go for
like stuff like that. Or I loved that period of time because I was just traveling from one place to another, packing everything up, and all of the possessions that I had was like this desk, this monitor, my PC, all my gaming setup, my gear and everything, all the clothes that I had, everything would go in the same cardboard boxes into the back of my pickup truck and onto a new apartment or house or whatever.
Why did you have to move? It seemed like you could have stayed in one of these places longer.
Availability would be one thing, and also like price would change. It was like, oh shit, I can get this house that's just as nice. I was always looking for better internet too. I always wanted to make sure I had stable internet for the show. But I never knew how long. I was also looking for a permanent place, and I never knew when that was going to happen. And then also a thing that would happen would be like, we have an availability of 3 weeks in March, but then in April somebody's coming in, and be like, all right, well, I'll take those 3 weeks and
find somewhere else,
and I'll find somewhere else for April. So I don't know. I was in at least 3 places, maybe 4, something like that. Yeah. I loved that shit.
When I lived alone, it was a long time ago since I've lived alone. It was before I got married. But sometimes coming home to an empty place and it was just a little empty. Like, I don't know if lonely's the right expression, but it just like, oh, there's no one here. There's no joy. It's just me.
No one to creep up on me from behind.
I don't know what that was. The door opened. It could be HVAC or someone just pushed on it.
Could be a ghoul or a goblin.
There's always that chance.
Taylor, what if something came in and it was so fast we couldn't even see what it was? We just saw a spray of blood and his camera turned off.
It zipped through to the little door that scares us all, right?
Then we would have to restart this recording, Kyle.
Shit, I didn't consider that.
Wait, were we supposed to be recording?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
God.
Come to your house. That would be funny. It's like Kyle's like, well, I've got Jackie's number. You think she can recover the file for us?
Good
I don't know if she can recover Woody. That Bagul seemed to have snatched him up. Yeah, so I never got loneliness like that. I always rather enjoyed being alone and like having a place to myself and, you know, just fucking walk around naked and fucking like do what I want. I'm a big boy. I do what I want. Just fucking piss in the sinks. Just not even caring.
Big boys do what they want.
That's right. And then being homesick, like I never got homesick. We'd be on the road and like Scott would start being such a pussy. He's like, I gotta get back to my girlfriend. I gotta get back to my girlfriends. Come on. Find a new one. We're in Florida.
You want to